Selfishness is the root of all progress. Without a desire to better oneself, there would be no motivation for achievement. Napoleon Hill, or perhaps selfishness, is the darkness that shrouds the light of compassion and empathy. Albert Schweitzer.
Oh, wow. I need a minute to think about this.
Many people on social media are openly talking about how they're entering their selfish era, doing what makes them happy, and they're not too concerned about it.
They're like eras. Oh, it's my self-care era. It's my era. I am in my most selfish bitch era ever. When I tell y'all, I do not care about what anybody else has going on.
Yeah, exactly. Selfish. Ooh, what a scary word. Everybody's scared of the word selfish. But you know what? Being selfish literally saves me.
What is selfish era exactly? Selfish era essentially means absolute self-focus. It's about placing yourself, your peace, and your personal goals at the forefront. It is unapologetically indulging into activities that make you feel amazing, setting boundaries without any hint of guilt. It's being about you. You take control of your time and energy, engaging in self-love, self-care, and self-reflection, and not readily grant access to just everyone and anyone. But you know, there are still these two big questions that just hang in the air. Is it selfless to step into your selfish era? And what really fuels this selfish era of yours? Is it just all about self-love? Or could it be a mix of past trauma and ongoing letdowns? Let's consider for a moment, is it really an act of selflessness when you decide to step into your selfish era? I mean, when you prioritize your own needs and desires, is it more about striking a balance between taking care of yourself and being there for others?
It's not selfish to put yourself first.
No, it's self-full.
It's self-full.
It's self-full to be first, to be as good as possible to you, to take care of you, to keep you whole and healthy. That doesn't mean that you disregard everything and everyone, but you want to come with your cup full. You know, my cup runneth over.
Yeah.
What comes out of the cup is for y'all. What's in the cup is mine.
There are some famous philosophers who've dived into this concept. Take Adam Smith, for instance. He's often seen as the pioneer of modern economics. He proposed this idea that when people look out for their self-interest, chasing their own goals and wealth, can actually end up benefiting society as a whole. It's like a hidden side effect of being a bit selfish. Smith believed that when people act in pursuit of their own goals and self-interest, they naturally engage in various productive activities. They work, they invest, they innovate, all in the pursuit of their own well-being. Now, here's the twist. These very actions, driven by self-interest, can inadvertently end up benefiting everyone around them. How does that happen? Well, picture this as a domino effect. When individuals are actively engaged in their pursuits, they often create wealth for themselves, of course. But here's where it gets interesting. This wealth creation can have a ripple effect. It leads to job opportunities for others. It fuels economic growth, and it can even result in the development of new technologies or industries. So, when we think about selfishness potentially leading to selflessness, Adam Smith's ideas provide a fascinating lens through which to view it. It's like a beautiful paradox, where looking out for yourself can also end up benefiting everyone else. Similarly, Ayn Rand, a controversial philosopher and novelist, advocated for the pursuit of rational self-interest. She believed that when individuals pursue their own happiness and values, it can lead to positive outcomes for society as a whole.
I want to do good for other people. What's so bad about that?
Nothing. If you do it by your own choice, and if it's not your primary aim in life, and if you don't regard it as a moral virtue, on those conditions, it's fine to help people if you want to.
Why can't I think of it as a moral virtue? I mean, can't I take some vows for myself for doing all these good things?
Because that would be cannibalism. Because that would mean that you preach altruism, which means not merely kindness, But self-sacrifice, it means that you place the welfare of others above your own, that you live for others for the sake of helping them, and that justifies your life. That's immoral, according to my morality.
In Rand's view, expecting others to be responsible for your happiness or well-being while you shirk your own responsibility in return was not a healthy or ethical exchange. She saw it as a form of dependency that could lead to a loss of personal agency and self-reliance.
Kant a little bit to a bromide that I had drummed into me as a child, and maybe you've heard it. Happiness comes from making other people happy.
Oh yes, who hasn't heard it? And that's the trouble. Let's aim at the day when people will not hear it anymore, because it isn't true, it isn't justifiable, and the first question you would have to ask is why? Why is it good to want others to be happy, but not yourself? And I suppose you will be told that, well, but they will work for your happiness and not their own. Well, it's like an exchange of Christmas presents that neither party wants, but that you have to exchange presents and you're not allowed morally to do something for yourself.
In essence, Rand's philosophy encouraged self-sufficiency and viewed personal responsibility for one's own happiness as a fundamental aspect of leading a virtuous and fulfilled life. And then there is Emmanuel Levinas, a philosopher of the 20th century. Levinas had a fascinating take on ethics that was quite different from the self-interest perspectives of Rand and Smith. He believed that true morality revolved around our interactions with others, emphasizing selflessness and a profound responsibility for the well-being of others. Levinas introduced the concept of the other with a capital O. For him, the other represented anyone outside of ourselves, and our ethical duty was to respond to their needs and concerns. He argued that when we encounter the other, we are faced with a moral responsibility that goes beyond self-interest. Levinas believed that true ethical action occurs when we put the needs of the other before our own desires. Earlier, we pondered the question, is it selfless to step into your selfish era? Ayn Rand and Adam Smith championed self-interest, suggesting that focusing on ourselves can ultimately benefit everyone. On the other hand, Emmanuel Levinas offers a different perspective, emphasizing the importance of considering everyone, not just ourselves. On your personal journey, which aspects of these philosophies resonate with you, and which ones do you find challenging? I believe there's a delicate balance between fulfilling your own needs and desires while also prioritizing the well-being of others. We are all somewhat connected in ways beyond our understanding. In sync, I would say, there are moments when it's crucial to fill our own cups first before extending support to others, or in some cases, at all. While there are times when prioritizing someone else's needs becomes essential. The key, I would say, is maintaining self-awareness and self-value. And I'm referring to genuine self-awareness, where you recognize how our interactions often serve as mirrors to really striking a healthy balance between selflessness and selfishness. And so this leads me to my next question. What really fuels this selfish era of yours? Is it just all about self-love? Or could it be a mix of past trauma and ongoing letdowns?
Snatch that energy back that I was pouring to everyone else and pour it back into myself. So I'm really in a me season right now. Like, I'm done living for other people. I'm done living the life that my parents or family wanted for me. Like, I'm done. It didn't get me anywhere. It didn't get me to the goals that I have for myself. And now I honestly feel like once I start to snatch that energy back, I'm gonna get a lot further. I'm gonna make more strides and have so much more progression. So yeah.
Where I realized, hey, listen, when they need someone, Liz is always there. But when I need someone, why is everything empty? Why am I overextending my whole body for everyone and they're not even extending out a hand to help me?
Many assert that the foundation upon which something is built shapes its outcomes. Fueling your selfish era from self-love and high self-esteem as some might say, could lead to personal empowerment and fulfillment. However, philosophers like Erich Fromm propose an alternative perspective, suggesting that there are instances where trauma and the need for belonging can cause long-term frustration. It's within this frustration that individuals may seek solace through self-soothing behaviors, which may manifest as a form of selfishness in what many could mask as selfish era. Many individuals find themselves at a point where they're weary and seek change. They embark on a journey of self-healing and self-improvement without carrying the burden of guilt. This transformation is fueled by an emerging awareness, encompassing not only their own behaviors, but also the patterns they observe in others they interact with. This growing understanding can often spark a curiosity in you about the complex nature of human behavior and your own relationships.
The selfish ones win. Put yourself always first. Think about your own needs first, and then everybody else. Because who do you have at the end of the day? You have yourself.
Partially, I might say creators like Liz adopt a straightforward approach designed to steer and shovel people out of the illusion of people-pleasing and encourage them to prioritize their own well-being. If taken too literally, some may interpret this approach as harsh or insensitive. It fundamentally departs from the mere act of being pleasant, prioritizing sharp boundaries over surface-level niceness. As individuals liberate themselves from the pattern of perpetual self-sacrifice, casting aside the challenge of asserting their needs and boundaries, a unique opportunity emerges. It's a moment ripe for nurturing deeper self-awareness and recognizing their intrinsic worth. The transition towards self-focus, commonly referred to as the selfish era, can now be built on a foundation of self-love, balance, and inner fulfillment, a transformation that you can embrace and express with genuine empathy. Now, I leave you with this. If you contemplate embarking upon your selfish era, sure do so with intention, for it may unveil profound transformations, both within and beyond, affecting not only your own existence, but also resonating with the lives of those you interact with. Remember to delve deeply into the why behind your choices and the energy you harness. Strive, perhaps, to forge an environment steeped in wholeness, self-awareness, and guided by self-love, empathy, and intrinsic worth. Seek balance between the affirmative yes and the unequivocal
Absolutely fucking not.
After all, you are in continuous evolution, and it is you who craft the essence of your life's symphony. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something new from a different perspective. See you in the next video. Until next time.